in life. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts I give our faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts I give our faith. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Now I believe. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire. Oh, fire, fire, fire. Now I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line. We live and learn from our mistakes. The deepest cuts are healed by faith. Welcome to RenéMarie's Stroke of Luck. I'm RenéMarie. This is going to be an incredible show called Continuing the Conversations, because I had a lot of dear friends on a few months ago and we just never finished what we were talking about, and we really wanted to continue the conversation. And in the meantime, Evan had shared a lot of Facebook. Everybody can come back on. Okay, so everybody had, Evan had shared a lot of a successful singer named Charlie.
Send it via email, the link.
Could you mute your, just mute your Zoom for now while you're not talking? Perfect, thank you. Like I said, we're live, so we want to make sure everybody sees this, and I'm giving them a few minutes to share it to their networks. So there's no problem at all. So I'm going to let Evan talk about when he comes, when I give him the platform to share some of the wrestlers that have suffered strokes, and the Charlie Williams has suffered strokes. And then Randy had found a wonderful movie called Amor, right, Randy? It's called Amor, that was back in 2012, won the Oscar for the best film, and we were supposed to all watch it. And I know Evans had a chance to watch it, and Randy had a chance to watch it. I'm not sure if Edwin had a chance to watch it, but it's a very compelling. I read the bio on it. It's a very compelling story about caretaking, caregiving, I should say. It's very compelling, and it's about a family that they were both pianists, I believe, and teachers, and and I believe the wife suffered a stroke, and it's just very compelling. And I'm not going to go into any more details because Randy and Evan could probably give better information on that. But what I tied into the show, and of course we have Edwin on the show, who's a very dear friend, and his artistry is just phenomenal. He's booked all over the place and singing. I'm going to let him share what he's doing now. And he actually was, he did a movie, a Brownsville Bred, that was very compelling and a wonderful movie, which I did have a chance to watch. And it was really a wonderful movie. And what touched me was a lot of different factors, but just the relationship between the daughter and the father. And I had a very close relationship with my father. So this show ties into every single avenue of Stroke of Luck and RenéMarie's Language of Love. And one of the things that I want to share with everybody is that, you know, my show now is called Unconditional Love. That's the show that we put on. That's the show that we're going to lead our telethon with. That's the show that we always, I find, is the most important thing, because love, everybody wants love. Everybody needs love. Everybody desires love. Everybody is love. And unconditional love is really a big part of life. And this show, and every single aspect of every single area that we're going to touch today, really relies on love. So I'm really happy that you're all here again. Randy, Edwin, and Edwin, are you, can you come back on, Edwin? We're gonna, well, Edwin's probably doing his back end work. So I'm gonna let, well, I want to welcome everybody, Evan and Randy, and of course, Edwin, to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time on a Sunday. I know it's hard on a Sunday because it's usually a family day and you go out and you do your thing. And so I'm so happy to have you both here, and Edwin as well. So Evan, I'm gonna let you start out with, because you had submitted to us 3 entertainers and athletes that had suffered strokes. So give us a little bit of information on that, and we're going to be touching base with them to get them on the show once we finish this show. So go ahead.
Sure. I was an associate producer on the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, Darren Aronofsky, the noted director, and I've been involved in the wrestling industry for many years. We also did a movie, 350 Days. Bret Hart is the star of that movie, and Bret Hart suffered a stroke.
Yep.
And it pretty much ended his wrestling career. I mean, he's done some on-camera stuff, but not actual wrestling. And yeah, so one of the biggest names in the history of the wrestling business did suffer a stroke, and it happened. He was kicked in the head during a match, and that's what set off the process. I mean, I don't have a medical background, but and also more recently, Jonathan Gresham, who's now 38 years old, he suffered a stroke, and 2 strokes actually, and he's back wrestling full time. And for anybody who just dismisses it, oh, that stuff isn't real, it's very, very physical. So to come back from 2 strokes to be active in ring, and your cardio has to be good. You're going,
Right.
full speed ahead. It's a very remarkable story, and we'll try to reach out to him. Maybe we could get him on the show. He's but both of them have spoken about their experiences, that their medical, history, and well-spoken individuals, both of them. And Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band, old school R&B fans will remember Burn Rubber. You dropped the bomb on me. I mean, really, million-selling artist who went solo, and he's still in his 70s filling major arenas. I'm talking arenas headlining. He recently had multiple strokes, and he's still on stage, and he's still performing. And yeah, I mean, people have very inspiring stories, coming back from real setbacks. And
But Evan, I think that I know that they shared their story, but we'd love to bring it to our audience, because that stories really make a mark. Like, people want to hear stories to how they came back, and actually what they did when they knew they were suffering a stroke. Because stroke, there's a 4-hour a window, 4-hour window to get help. So that would be very interesting to ask them those questions, to bring some information and stories to everybody. So I can't wait to really connect with them, even if they're unable to join us, to do a little video clip that we could show, and just to talk to our audience. So it's really good. So thank you.
As my late mother would say, the worst they could say is no.
I hope not. We don't like to go in that direction. We like to keep positive mind thought.
You pitch 3 people, somebody will say yes.
Yes, when they're on the show, that's how we do.
Right.
When they're on our show.
Right.
So that's good. Thank you, Evan. Edwin, hi. How you doing? Okay. Oh, yes, you turned your camera. So one of the things that when you were talking about Charlie, is what went into my brain right away was, 2 years after my stroke, I could not sing. And that was devastating to me. When I suffered my stroke, I never had, well, I shouldn't say that, because I did have depression, but I wasn't aware of my depression. But I thought that I was always very upbeat and positive, and like never focused on anything negative. But one of the things that was difficult for me was my inability to sing. And I wanted to just get Edwin's
Wow.
thoughts on that, because I know that music is your life, and music, even though I have never done music as my full-time career, it has been I wear two hats. I wear my day job and my foundation, and my love for music as my second hat. They're equal in value, but when I wasn't able to sing, it devastated me. So Edwin, just tie into that a little bit. Share, like, to put yourself in that place to be able to, but he can still sing. Evan said that.
Yes, he's
Yes,
still
yes.
touring, he's still active. Yeah.
Yes. But that's what went through my brain as soon as you told me that, because when I wasn't able to sing. So, and I know there was another singer, I forgot her name. She was Spanish. I don't know her name, but I know, and she actually passed away recently, that used to sing and was unable to sing because she suffered a stroke. I'm going to find her name. But Edwin, tie into that for us, and then we're going to go to Randy about his movie.
Yeah, well, for any artist or any individual that has a practice in their life that, of course, sustains them, whether it be, financially, whatever, it's always going to be a burden of some sort. They're going to feel incapacitated. And with singing, with any expressive practice, it's you feel it even more, because I would say, because you're talking about something that serves you emotionally, spiritually, something that you rely on, that would serve as an emotional outlet, even for yourself, a therapeutic tool, an expressive one. So it is difficult. It is. I remember when I once got pretty sick like that, where I couldn't even sing. I sang in my head. I picked up the guitar and I would just even practice singing in my head, just hearing myself, imagining, till I got better, but it's very difficult to go through that. I imagine, with him, he's probably using techniques,
Yeah.
to get by, falsettos and other parts of your vocal department, to keep yourself going. And that can be crafty and beautiful too. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that that's partially what he's doing. You get creative, and you push forward.
Yeah, you know what, Edwin, I'm actually learning that, because I always thought that if I couldn't sing and I couldn't hit the high note, I couldn't do my performance. But that's not true, because you can always put it at a lower note, or just craft it to be able to do your performance. I went to see oh my gosh, she's a female. I'm terrible with names. I'm so sorry, especially when I'm tired. Lauryn Hill. I went to see Lauryn Hill
Oh,
in
she's
New
great.
York.
She's a good vocalist.
Yes, but she had a cold, and she was
Oh,
drinking tea. But she did that. She actually was crafting, and it's such an artistry to do that, to be able
yeah.
to do what you're doing, even though you have to change it, and to do it so quickly. It's just it's very a wonderful thing to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So
I think all of, Randy, Evan, there's always some kind of an obstacle that can get in the way when you're in this creative thing, because it's not just a physical thing, it's an emotional thing, and you sort of have to set your stuff up to make it work for you. So I imagine even Evan and Charlie and Randy as artistic individuals, how they might find coping mechanisms to work around that. Yourself, you have to find a way. Where in your case it might be, as far as hitting the high note, might be using falsetto.
right.
maybe as writers, they use their very pain or their whatever they're going through and somehow include it in their work, or use it as a vessel to create more. It's an empathic tool, you might
Right.
say, that they're using. Because when I read some of Evan's work, there's so much emotion in there. You know, and Evan is a very centered individual. You know, you see him in front of the students, and you don't see so much of that. You know, he's very focused and professional. But then when you read his work, it's very emotional for me.
Thank you.
I'm sure for many others. So I think that you can experience that side of Evan through his work, is what I'm saying. So I could tell that, and I'm sure he has, because I know him personally. He's gone through some things, and then he's used those experiences. And forgive me if I'm wrong, and correct me, Evan, if I am. You take some of those tools and you implement them in your work somehow. You use that emotional surge.
Well,
And
Marvin Gaye, who was as great an artist as ever stepped foot on a stage or recording studio, he wrote many times from pain, some what's going on, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's maybe the greatest album ever recorded. So, you know, he also wrote when he was in love, but a lot of his greatest work came from pain. And if everything is just great, you don't have a movie, you don't have a song, you know, it's many times that's where artists are coming from. Absolutely.
I was
Yeah, and it's
talking
not,
the other. No, I was just gonna say, Edwin, and then I'll let you talk before I forget, because I forget that we were just talking the other day when Taylor Swift got married. You know, she's
Yeah.
happy now. All her hits came from, right? If I'm correct me if I'm not, most of her hits came from her relationships, and that were unsuccessful. So she fed into that through her music.
No good
Yeah.
ex-boyfriends. Yes.
No, and she inspired the world. You know, she gave everybody hope. You know that that you can have a relationship that fails and then find yourself, and so everybody was saying, you know, who I was talking to is, what is she going to write about now? Because you know but she's such a great artist. She'll be able to find things. But I'm just
Marvin Gaye did a divorce settlement album, so that'll be a big hit for her one day. Yeah.
no, she's not getting divorced.
I'm joking.
We don't want anybody. We'll start streaming about our divorce that we're saying about.
Marvin Gaye has a song, "When Did You Stop Loving Me? When Did I Stop Loving You?" That's rough. That's rough. Yeah.
Song. I gotta listen to that one. That's
Hear
a-
My
Yeah,
Dear album.
it's so interesting, man. Yeah, it really is. You're you know, the thing is that that's reality, you know what I mean? And that's what, I guess that's why people can relate. If we're acting like the world is all happy and everything is working out great, it's not. That's the dance of life. That's what we have to do, you know. And but we convey it in writing, in a song or in a movie, like, you know, like Randy. So you put it together, and you convey humanity. You convey the human experience, which is why people are attracted to what we do. And especially when we're doing it responsibly, where we're really diving into that place, man. It's not easy. I had a friend once. I don't know what you guys think of this. Well, I guess I already know, but I had a friend tell me once, you know, how do you write? How do you get into a song? You know, I'm like too depressed. You know, it's hard for me I can't clear my mind. And I just told him, look, write about that.
Yeah.
Just go right into it, feel it through, you know? And I guess that's what everyone can relate to, you know, that's what people see, and they find themselves in a part of themselves in the movie or in the writing or in the song. And that's what resonates them up. That's what resonates with them, you know? But,
I was just watching this Oprah. I was just watching this Oprah. I love the Oprah, her podcast. She comes out every Tuesday, and she just did one. And one of the guests, one of the audience guests, she went on Facebook, and she just was like crying her eyes out. And she got like 20 million hits because people, like you said, Edwin, they can relate to her sadness, her feelings, how she was devastated that day. And she from her streaming, she got onto the Oprah show, because everybody wanted to tap in to see what was going on and how she felt that way. And so, yeah, so I have to learn. I'm working on that, Edwin, because Edwin and I have many conversations, and I have my walls up most of the time, except when I'm on the stage singing. That's when my walls come down, and I'm just able to sing and relate and express myself. But I do have to work on sharing my vulnerability and my feelings about everything. So
Not easy. It's not easy, Renee. It's difficult. But it's interesting to me because I know you're very spiritual, right? That I think you definitely you can relate to this. People are looking for answers. They're looking for answers. We could run away from the spirituality thing, but the reality is that it's there. People are looking for answers. They're looking for healing, and they look outside of themselves. Again, when I like going. Since Evan is here, I go to his work because you're in the story and you're reading it and you can see the visuals. He's really good at your reading, but you can see the visuals behind it. You can imagine the place and everything, and the person. And by going there, you're taken aback, and you're relating to the character in the story, the person, and it makes you feel balanced out in life. You know what I mean? We're looking for answers. We're looking for people that we can relate to. We're looking to feel, in a way, a sense of normalcy in this craziness sometimes. And this is what the arts offer. It just goes to show you we're all spiritual beings. We're really looking to find ourselves, and we're looking for clarity. We're looking for healing, all of us. And the arts seem to be a powerful source.
We need the arts now more than ever. This is,
Yes.
it's it's therapeutic, and I don't know if you'd call it, maybe it's a distraction, maybe it's just good for the soul, but Edwin, yeah, I agree with you. We totally need it. Yeah.
When you see a great movie, you feel like a better person having seen it. And Randy recommended this film Amour, which I had never heard of. And after watching it, you feel enriched. You feel like you're better than before having seen it. So great art, is really, it is very spiritual. And Edwin does beautiful music.
Yeah.
And Edwin played at my mother's unveiling. Talk about spiritual. I mean, my mother loved Edwin and his music. So, life without the arts would not be worth living, really. If it was just going to work and going home, the arts are important, and parents really need to take their kid by the hand. No excuses. There's plenty of free concerts. There's plenty of free days at the museum once a week or whatnot. And guide your kids. Otherwise, they're just going to be playing video games and blowing up stuff, really.
So I'm going to let Randy, that was a good introduction for us, because Edwin and Evan for Randy to start to talk about and introduce us to this beautiful movie, which was very compelling. They were pianists, like I said. But I have one thought that I want to share before we get into that, is the difficulty in life I have found is when you have to be a professional and you have to kind of guide yourself in a certain manner, and sometimes you can't say what's really on your mind, and you can't be the person that you are because of the industry you're in, or so it's very challenging in life. And Edwin and I have had this conversation many times, how I work. I have to make sure that I'm focused and doing what, I mean, I'll give an example. When Edwin played at my association, the Radburn Association, we got in the car and Edwin's like, sing, let's sing together. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
remember
I
that.
can't. I'm like, I'm in the work mode. Like, I can't, like, as much as I would love to sing with Edwin, I was like, I can't, because like, it was like a 10-minute drive and my mind wasn't into, remember that, Edwin?
Yeah, I remember that.
And he's like, he's probably thinking, is she crazy? But like, so I understand a lot of, like, even Randy, you have a day job, right? So you, and I mean, sometimes, and I'm blessed now because I'm in a company that is allowing me to incorporate some of my singing into the job, because I just sang at Make-A-Wish. They did a big happy hour for Make-A-Wish. So they allowed me to sing at that. They loved what I did and I brought to it because I incorporated a lot of the guests there to sing, and we had a great time. We even sang Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I mean, it was hopping. And people don't realize, and I guess maybe I don't promote myself well enough, at what I do, but once I'm able to do it, like, it was like, oh, this is what she's talking about. This is what she can do. So it was a gift, but I guess I have to do the work myself. So that's what I'm getting from this conversation. So so Randy, tell us a little bit, really introduce us to this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful movie, which, ties into my unconditional love, because from the I didn't have a chance to watch it. Like I was telling Randy, most of my pre-work is done in the car. I listen, when I'm driving, I listen to music, I listen to movies, I listen to this, but this was in French and
Yeah.
had captions. So I was unable to drive and read captions at the same time.
Oh, well, you definitely have to carve out 2 hours of your time because this movie is totally worth your time. It's from 2012 and it won the Palme d'Or, which is the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival. It also won the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Feature, and it was basically many, many more awards and accolades. It is French, like you did mention, and it focuses on two elderly former music teachers who one day, out of the blue, the complete nowhere, the wife has a stroke, and now it's up to the husband to basically care for her and act as her nurse. And it's just a beautiful film. It's brilliantly directed by a gentleman by the name of Michael Haneke, actually pronounced Hanukkah like the holiday. French filmmaker. Actually, no, is he French? Sorry. He is a very gifted filmmaker, and he did a great job with this film. The performances are great too. I'm not going to butcher the names. There's a few fantastic French actors here. When you see it, you'll know the husband and wife. They seem like real people. Like this feels like a documentary, and it is just heartbreaking. I call it heartbreakingly beautiful because it definitely deals with some heavy stuff, some very depressing themes, some really dark things happening here. But at the end of this, it's kind of bittersweet. It's really beautiful the way this man treats his wife. It's just total love, and that is the title of the movie, Amour. I can't rave about this movie enough. I watched it last night for the first time ever. I know, obviously this is a show that deals with stroke awareness, and I felt that this movie was completely appropriate for that. I know that the previous two shows we did some other stroke-related movies, which were also great. But this one is definitely among the best and among the best dramas I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, Renee, you gotta check this one out.
I will. I have 40
Yeah.
hours because I only rented it, so I have 48 hours. And when I go,
Yes.
like our event yesterday got rained out, so I was able to be in bed by 8 o'clock. So
Mhm.
I'm rested. So tonight I will watch it when I'm in bed,
Yes.
and I cannot wait to watch it. But like I said, like I named my, all the titles in my shows, I've always had love in it. Spread the love,
Mm.
story of love, like whatever. But this is my ongoing title for my show is Unconditional Love, because and this ties right into it, because he unconditionally loved his wife,
Yes.
that whatever he needed her to do. And I tell you, I have been blessed in my life. My father, I always tell this story, when I was in between jobs and I was on my way to get another job. I went for an interview and I got the job. I'll never forget. I was driving out of the Wanakee Reserve community, and I called my father. I said, Daddy, I said, guess what? He goes, what? He goes, I said, I got the job. He goes, let me ask you something. Are you happy? Like he didn't care that I had money. He didn't care. He didn't care about anything. The only thing he cared about was, well, was I happy? And to me, that is that just is a memory that will always be with me, because he was there for me. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, abuelita, she was the same way. Whatever she would walk. She didn't drive, so she lived about 10 blocks away, in the snow, the cold. It didn't matter what it was. She would come, she would do whatever she needed to do to get to us, to help us. So I have been blessed in my life with a lot of unconditional love in my life. But tell Edwin, did you want to feed into anything, Edwin?
It's just a tremendous film, and if you listen to your marriage vows in sickness and in health, if one or both of the partners, if something goes wrong, it's a serious commitment. I've known people where their spouses have gotten sick and they couldn't handle it. They ran away. They abandoned their partner. And it's in this film, you see the day-to-day sacrifice that the husband makes. I mean, he's taking her to the bathroom, etc. So on. She's paralyzed on one side and can't walk. And after I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I'm just saying it's inspirational.
Yeah.
What the husband does in this film, and the many people, husbands or wives, or boyfriends or girlfriends, whatever the case may be,
Or daughters or sons, or
absolutely,
sometimes children,
yeah.
have to take care. Yeah.
Let me just add this. When my mother was dying, I would visit her 5-6 days a week. And what I always remember is the staff would say to me how much they appreciate it. And I go, why? And they go, because most of the people in this facility never have visitors, or only on Mother's Day, Christmas, Easter, birthdays, a handful of times a year, and how disgraceful that is, because in other societies, the elderly are revered. They're not, I mean, my mother fell and broke a hip. She needed to be there for the rehab. But in many cases, adult kids just dump their parents in these facilities and never, ever visit. And it's a shame on them,
Yeah.
And they're worried about the inheritance or whatnot, but they don't have time to visit their own mother.
Right. That's just
horrible. So
Edwin,
if this
I see that
changes,
going on a lot. Yeah.
oh, you see that? Yeah. So if one person listening, watching your show says, wait a second, I should do better, it was worth my saying that.
Yeah.
that's a
Absolutely.
good tie-in for Edwin, because his mom is his queen. He He
My mom recently suffered a fall too. So we had to take her to the hospital, and we were afraid that she might have broken a hip at the time. It was July 4th that she fell. And we were like really scared because she couldn't even move, and she was just in constant agony, screaming. She was in a lot of pain. And to see your mom, she's 89, like that, laying on the ground, and then the ambulatory team coming and saying, it doesn't look good. I I was in despair, you might say, because once a person that age breaks their hip or whatever, it's pretty much a downhill situation. But I got it was a gathering, a party, and everything. My sister took her to the hospital, and we remained in contact. And I prayed with my brother David, who's schizophrenic, but he's doing a lot well. And we prayed for like an hour, and we kept hearing back from my sister saying that even just to get her to get the X-ray was hard, and then they had to do a CAT scan of everything to make sure everything was okay. We prayed for everything looked like was going in a bad direction. But I told my brother, keep faith, and I know this is not a religion show or nothing like that, but I do know you're spiritual, and I stress this a lot, and Evan knows because I've done it on his show too, but I do believe in beautiful things. I believe that there are great possibilities in the world, and we believe just as we embrace negativity or doubt that something good will happen, but believe greatly that something bad will happen. Shit will go wrong, in other words.
Yes.
We'll believe that, but often we don't want to embrace the possibility of something beautiful and great. Well, we prayed for an hour. We kept praying and checking, and the results returned. And at first they said it was a fracture of the foot, a slight fracture. We're okay with that. We'll deal with that.
Yeah.
Then the next morning they did another test, and she was completely cleared. CAT scan, X-ray, no bone broken, except, she was badly bruised. So we had to bring her to a rehabilitation center, and she's doing good. And Evan, it's true. I'm there every other day or sometimes consecutively throughout the week. And you see, it's true. You see these people and they're not being visited. In fact, you're right. They thank you. They're like, there's 8 of us the last time they're visiting my mom, and it's heartbreaking to see that, it's hard. It's hard to see people go through pain and know that no one's there for them. And also, the thing is that people don't want to deal with it, but it's part of what love is about, man. You carry each other. My father, died of cancer. Rest in peace. And I dealt with that for like a year and a half. And it was hard to see him suffer, getting the chemo burned, it's like hot liquid or something going to your veins. But, you stick by them. I mean, at the end of it, I wish I could have done even more, really. I don't feel I did enough, but the fact that people just don't even show up and also duck out, that's heartbreaking. It really is.
When I used to, because I used to perform at a lot of assisted livings, because, that's what before COVID, I sang at a lot of assistant livings and nursing homes, and it would take me 40 minutes to wake them up when I got in. And I would go in with high-end music initially to kind of get them engaged, to make them feel, and when I did it this past time, I did it for Diane Bromberg's senior resource group event. And everybody's like, oh my God, like you got to come and do that for our, because it's not like just singing to make money. It's singing to bring joy to everybody, to bring hope to everybody. And you said, Edwin, you said that, you got to believe you have another day. And the truth is that it doesn't matter whether you're as healthy as can be, because our days are numbered. And we don't know when our last day is going to be. So it doesn't matter whether you're suffering cancer, or you had a stroke, or you're healthy, you're walking down the street. You know, it's challenging. It's challenging. Life is a gift. That's the last line in my Stroke of Luck book. Life is a gift. And that's what I stand by. Life is a gift. We should love one another. We should respect one another. We should have empathy for one another, because you have no idea what is going on in somebody's life when you meet them, when you see them. They could be at work, you know, they have to keep a smile on their face, which I had to do many times with when my insides are burning up crying, you know. So it's life. Life is a gift, and life is very challenging, and but it's a beautiful thing, right? It's beautiful to be able to share. Like, I am so happy to have all of you in my life. I'm gifted to have all of you in my life, you know. And even though we are not in Madhouse TV anymore, Village Connection, at least we have Zoom to be able to, okay, that's not here anymore, we'll do Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zoom is, you know, easy for us to do. So
And you know, Renee, sorry, I just want you,
it's okay.
I just thought of an amazing film that definitely ties into this conversation. Patch Adams from 1998, starring Robin Williams.
Oh,
It's actually based on an actual doctor who was basically a doctor slash clown who would go to
yes.
different units, whether it be the elderly, kids, just anyone. He would show up, he would make them laugh, he would just inspire them and give them hope. And it's just a really, really beautiful film. And every time I watch it, I do tear up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that it's based on a real person, it makes it even more impactful. So I know it's not related to stroke victims, but it is
Yeah,
related to healthcare and
right.
inspiring others to do better.
Right, right. But so
Great.
on that note, I do want to flow into, because Edwin, the movie that you did, Brownsville Bread, it's a beautiful love story as well. And the ending shocked me, you know. You thought that the father was moving away from the daughter because he wanted to. He couldn't, you know, he was, I don't know if anybody wants to share the ending story. You know, people should have visited it viewed it by now. But talk to us a little bit that how is that movie doing? What's going on with that movie? Because, and we're so happy, like, they're gifted to have you as a part of that movie, because your music and your voice is just incredible. And the woman you sang with, that duet is just beautiful.
Brianna Page,
Yeah.
she's the wife of the editor of the movie, Eddie Frente Silverman, who put a lot of incredible hard work into the editing, because it's another art form, editing in itself, to put it together in such a way where it's effective. The balance, you know, of music, from scene to scene and all that. It's hard work, you know. But yeah, right. I mean, as of late, the latest news is that the movie was nominated for best feature film at the Imagine Impact Awards.
Wow.
So we're happy about that. We're aiming now for the because, you know, originally, I don't know if this was said at the interview, if it had happened then or not, the last interview that we had, but it was the music was considered for the Golden Globe and Academy Award, and then one of the songs, Semilla de Fe, was eligible for the 2026 Oscar.
Wow.
Of course, I'm just a guy from Brooklyn Park Slope here, you know, so no one knows me. But I was
Oh my
still
God.
very,
Well,
I was very
they
happy
got
to
to
be a
get to
part
know
of.
you.
Well, I would like that, you know, and I say that not because of any narcissistic thing. I say that because not me, but my music. How about that? You know, the
Yeah.
songs, because I put them out with all from my heart. I don't even care about, you know, like any of these fancy interviews on TV and all like that. I just want the work and I want the message to get out. More importantly, that's what's important to me. But yeah, you know, it's now we're aiming for the Latin Grammy, you know, and But it's hard because, it's an indie film. And then as far as my music goes, I was on a list with all these greats. I was honored to be on the list with them. Um, but no, who is that guy on the list, right? Yeah. But I'm like this. I really believe that it's purpose and meaning are the most important thing.
Yeah.
It's not because you could even have fame, you could have be recognized by everyone, but if it's not for the right, what I consider are the right reasons, it doesn't matter. It's good to be remembered for something you contributed to in life more than anything. It's not like, oh, look at him, or how many awards or her or whatever. If those awards really reflect what you've done in life, then you can walk with that.
Yeah.
But if
I
it's just
remember,
about the awards and all that, the status and look who I am, I really believe in that.
I remember somebody saying to me, not that I'm an actress, because I am not good at that at all. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. I'm not good at being an actress. I'm good at being a singer. I'm not good at being an actress. But I remember somebody saying that some of the most successful actors and actresses, you don't really know them so well. They're just able to keep their career going by doing one gig after another for years, years and years and years. And the other thing is I've learned is when you put your work in, you don't worry about, I want to be a star, I want to be successful. You do the hard work. You do the hard work, you lay the groundwork, and that's what you've done, Edwin. You laid the groundwork, and the universe will take care of you otherwise. And in fact, you're on this movie, and that wing from God that you're on that list, it means that you're going to be on that list forever now, and you're good. Somebody is going to take that and take you somewhere else. And I mean, your gift is your love for music, and the way that you sing, it just flows out of you. It's a part of you. Your guitar is a part of you. Your voice is a part of you. It just comes out of you, and it's beautiful. I mean, we all say here, and we're talking, but when you sing, it just puts you in another place, so.
Thank you very much. I want to thank Evan too, because, Evan, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but, all right, for the sake of how we view things in life, right? I've done Telemundo, I've done Sábado Gigante, Univision. I performed Merkin Concert Hall, that was beautiful, and Symphony Space, and a lot of incredible BB Kings and all that. But I have to say, some of my most beautiful experiences was performing some of them in the train stations when I first started out, in the subway, and at the Madhouse TV, Evan Ginzburg's Legends TV show.
Yeah.
Because I really felt that I got the opportunity to express more of what I'm about there through the interview and through the intimacy of being able to share songs where you can hear the lyrics clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for me, it was a very spiritual experience being on there, even for Tom Marr, he would sometimes be doing the camera thing, and he'd come over me emotionally after, or smiling and happy, because then you're there and the lyrics are really being heard. You're able to convey the lyrics, and you got all this noise going on around you. Because a lot of the jobs that I do now are at hotels, restaurants and corporate events where I'm just there playing ambience,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not an easy thing to do because, you want to get some feedback just with anything in life, relationships, whatever. And you do get it after, or maybe during sometimes, but it's not the same. At Evan's show, you just felt the love. You felt the love, and you felt your connection to the people outside,
Yeah.
watching the show. So I'm grateful for that, because that really empowered me spiritually, being on that show. It really did good for me. It helped me believe more even in my work and the stuff that I write. And we need that as artists, There's work, and then there's, the expression. It needs to be fed.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I always believe that we should get you into communities, because communities are sitting and they're watching you, so you could do your show,
Yeah.
rather than just be the background music or just singing for, and I love to sing. It doesn't matter if I sing in a paper box. It doesn't matter if I sing to a million people. It doesn't matter, because to me, I'm singing, letting out my emotions and, singing because I love to sing. But to have that platform, and you're great at that, Edwin. You're great at connecting with everybody and just, and reaching every single person. Because I've seen you in action, at not only at Madhouse TV and with Evan, but with at Radburn. Like, people
Yeah,
just,
Rapper's been fun too. That's
Yeah.
another one I look forward to,
yeah. I mean,
because you got the people sitting on the grass, and it
Yeah.
becomes a very beautiful, and it's
Yeah.
outside.
yeah.
I really enjoy that a lot too.
Yeah, we'll get you back. We'll get you back. But it's almost like, and this is how I am. Like, yeah, I start to sing, but then I get into that space. Okay, this comes into my mind. Let me share this. And you're able to tell your story through the music and through your words. So you're incredible. We're gonna get you places. You're
I
getting
think we're
places
all,
where you're-
we're all coming from somewhere, we're all doing our work, and it's we have a story behind it. I really want to get to know Randy more
Yes.
personally, because I wonder about where, how he, what drove him into what he's doing,
Oh,
even as a young man.
I mean, I've been a film enthusiast all my life. 4 years old, I saw my first movie in theaters, Ghostbusters 2. And since then, I was hooked. And basically, kind of things got rolling in high school when I started writing for the paper there. That segued into college, where I wrote for 2 papers there. I wrote freelance after college for a few websites. And then actually, I met Evan through a mutual friend, 2 mutual friends, actually. So it was like, all about the connections. And then
Yeah.
Evan was gracious and kind enough to have me on his show every week, do a little segment there to review some films. And then after that, I started to do my own show at Village Connection. And from there, that kind of just evolved into what I do now, which is on Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've done work with them.
You're
There's
great.
Rena Valentine that does the show there too.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
Rena Valentine?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, it'd be great if you guys met.
Is that that's another musician?
She's actually a talk show host that she has her show there. She's
Okay.
had me there as a guest as well, but it'd be great if you guys met.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
when you do these shows, what's like, you dive into the story and like you did before, and what, like, I'm wondering,
Yeah.
like, personally for you, uh, what brings you into it more and more? What is it that inspires you individually
Yeah.
as as a human being? What does it do for you?
I mean, so like I said, at 4 years old, I was basically captivated by the power of cinema, the movie magic. That's what grabbed me, and that's what continues to grab me at 41. Every day, every movie I see, something about it, like Amour, it has something to say, and it speaks to me. And I'm just so grateful that there's so much great art out there. And like Evan said, we need art to basically survive and cope with all this all that
Yes.
throws at us. But basically, a standard show I do, it's an hour long, and I review 2 movies, kind of just talk about the movie a little bit, and then talk about the actors, the director, and then get into the story.
Fascinating.
Yeah, and then kind of pick it apart, review it, analyze it a little. And I also, so basically on the show, I also have a panel of like kind of like this, actually, exactly like this, with like
Okay.
maybe 1 to 2 to 3 other critics. And we kind of go around kind of like a Siskel and Ebert type of thing, but with like 3 people. And I also interview actors and filmmakers. So that's kind of a separate thing. I'm also on the red carpet at film festivals, one of which I'm going to say, I'm going to talk about when we do our plugs. But yeah, that's basically my
Plug
life.
yourself now. Plug yourself now.
Oh, sure. I mean, well, it's not me. It's a colleague of mine. He has a film festival in Forest Hills, Evan. You can take note of this. It's the Festival of Cinema NYC, and it's every August, and it's very indie. A lot of small emerging voices, a lot of really talented young directors, and writers and artists. And basically, they screen the films, I think mostly out of the Midway Movie Theater, which is on Queens Boulevard, and it's right in my backyard. And it's a nice little festival, and they have a kickoff party on Tuesday night, which I would be more than happy to share the link on social media
Yes,
after
yes.
the show.
Yep.
And yeah, I think all of you would get a kick out of it. It'd be a lot of fun.
I would love to come. Where is it?
It's in the city at a place called Gigantic Studios. I've never been there, but it looks like a very cool space. And yeah, it's really nice. I'm sure there's gonna be some great talent there, a lot of great emerging filmmakers. So that's Tuesday
What day
night.
would that be on? Oh,
That's
is
this
it
Tuesday.
Oh,
This
this
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I
Yeah,
gotta check that out.
in the evening. Yeah, I'll send the link to you guys. So
Okay, okay. I
Yeah.
can't go this Tuesday, but I would
Oh.
love to. I'm singing the national anthem at in Elmwood Park.
Oh,
That's
Uh,
great.
that's
Congratulations.
cool. That's cool.
Thank you. So,
Um,
so,
and yeah, guys, there's always events going on. I'd love to keep you guys and
yeah, keep
Yeah,
keep us
please.
in the loop. I
Yeah.
would love to, like, not only, to have you guys on the show every, quarter or something, but really to meet you guys in these areas so that we could start supporting each other and, whatever
Yeah,
we can do.
great.
And photos and social media, that all, and I believe that, the better in numbers than solo, better in numbers than solo. So,
Renee, you got to do something at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, MNN.
okay,
Are you familiar?
no,
It's like a public access station in the city,
okay,
and basically you do an orientation and you get to use their equipment. They've got a couple of studio spaces there for podcasts, for TV shows.
okay.
I
Okay.
think that would be perfect for Stroke of Luck, honestly.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes, yes.
Uh,
Well,
Yeah.
connect to me
yes.
and let me know via, email, because right now I won't remember.
Okay.
And then I would love to. I would love to. Yes, that would be awesome.
We'll coordinate after this, I guess.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. And I want to say thank you to Evan because he like Edwin said and like Randy said, Evan is really a support for a lot of different people, a lot of different venues. And I remember the last show we did, you spieled off a bunch of things from my movie and who I should get in touch with, and like you're always supporting people, Evan. You're always, what
Right.
drives you to do. I mean, I know that helping people is a part of all our natures, but what drives you to do it, Evan? Why do you like to help people?
It's for example, as an educator, teaching adult ESL, English Second Language, for 36 years, and I'll bump into a student on the street, on a train, on a bus, because there's been thousands and thousands of them,
Yeah.
and they'll say, "You helped me get my GED. I went into college because of it. I got a good job because of it." It's like ripples in a stream, and
Yeah.
they help their families and their children help their children. And, people need to be there for each other. When people do my family means everything to me. Well, what about your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, your community? It goes beyond just your family. And I don't know. I think as you get older, and I'm not a kid anymore, you realize what's really important: family, friends, helping people, following your muse, as we've been
Yeah.
saying today, and attaining some degree of spirituality. It doesn't have to be religion. It could just be peace of mind. Let me just throw this out there quickly. Before I came on your show today, I was in the park for an hour 45 doing Tai Chi, Qigong, and yoga. And I'm not a doctor, but our 88-year-old teacher, Tai Chi teacher, who does not take a single pill and has boundless energy and as sharp as could be and happy, he feels that Tai Chi can help prevent strokes. He said this.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. Don't quote
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm quoting my Tai Chi teacher.
Yeah.
Because it's getting everything flowing, the blood, the energy,
Mm.
all throughout your body. When you do Tai Chi, you're going literally from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so the people out there watching your show, they might want to look into it. And interestingly, Tai Chi and yoga, a lot of them are the same moves with different names.
Yeah.
Tai Chi sounds a little exotic for you. Think yoga because it's very similar, very peaceful. And I'm out in the park with women in their 80s and 90s. They're throwing kicks and punches and doing hip rotations, and it's balancing on one leg.
Yeah.
Balance is good. Edwin was talking about, the elderly falling, which can be deadly. It often is. Tai Chi and Qigong and yoga will help your balance.
Mm.
So, I highly recommend it. And it's a moving meditation. It's very peaceful and calming. And however you're feeling, when you're done with 45 minutes or an hour, whatever the case may be, of Tai Chi, Qigong, you feel better. You feel
Yeah.
calmer. And it's important because living in a big city like New York, it could be awfully stressful. So I
Yeah.
really
And
recommend.
the other thing that I love about yoga and Tai Chi, I have a dear friend that was on our show, Barry and Catania. They do that. Is that you really need to go into the silence once in a while. You need to calm yourself. You need to release all the dramas and all the chaos that's
Tai
in
Chi
our
is a
lives.
moving meditation
Yes,
and a
yes,
martial art.
yes,
Mm.
yes,
Some of these
yes.
moves are self-defense,
Yeah,
but generally in the parks, they're teaching it, for exercise and health,
yeah,
wellness as opposed to fighting. But you're throwing punches and kicks when you're
yeah,
doing Tai Chi. It's
yeah,
originally a martial art. Yeah.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Um, before, because it's already 11:20, which doesn't matter to me, but I know I don't want to keep everybody longer than I promised, but I do want to. I haven't booked it officially yet. And I have not spoken to my board and all that kind of stuff, but I'm looking to do my Unconditional Love telethon concert on June 6th next year. It's a Sunday, so please mark your calendars. I would love Randy to do a red carpet thing there. It would be incredible. And Evan, you could sell your books, and Edwin, you can come and perform with me. And so I really want to, this is, and it's important to, I always like to do things with people that I'm friends with and that have been in my life. I don't want to go out and get new people. I want people that are part of my life. And I share that because, when I like to grow with people, and I like to keep the same surroundings around me to work with. It makes it a blessing. It makes it a blessing. It makes it fun. It makes it more inviting and more good. And then I also, I don't want to share this too much, but I just spoke to someone. Someone passed away, and she was very popular in the town. I just briefly spoke to her son, so we may be honoring her as well, like we did with Jim and Alan at the last Unconditional Love concert. So it's really going to be a remarkable, really a compelling, remarkable show. So I hope that you'll mark your calendars and be a part of it. It's going to be really important, compelling. So. Edwin's smiling because Edwin was on the beginning floors of my Unconditional Love concert, with a little inception in my brain, so
Mhm.
anyway, so I'm gonna let everybody share their last thoughts, comments, where we could find you, where you're performing, where you're doing whatever you're doing. So Randy, you go first.
Well, before I do that, I just wanted to mention, I know Edwin talked about his mom. I want to talk about my mom too.
Oh, yes.
She and my dad, but my mom and she's my buddy, and I hang out with her as much as I can, healthy or sick. And I just love watching movies and TV with her and just visiting her as much as possible. Whoever's watching, do not neglect your parents. They are the ones who brought you into this world, and they deserve your love and respect. So just be with them as much as you can. So yeah, just want to throw that out there. As for plugs, you can check out Under the Radar on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, MNN, every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Also, you could check out all of my episodes and interviews on YouTube, also Under the Radar, and that's Unger with a G, Unger, and also wherever you listen to your podcasts. And Renee, I just want to thank you so much for being back on for the third time. I'm honored that you invited me back. So thank you so much for that.
Oh my God, I always tell everybody now you're part, you guys do this, but I always tell new guests, now you're part of the family. Like, let's just get you back on, and we should do this quarterly. We should do it, so that we keep networking and keep sharing what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So yes, Randy, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Evan, you want to go next?
Sure. My new book, if you love movies, Grindhouse, Arthouse, and wrestling flicks, and Amore would qualify as Arthouse. Beautiful film that we just saw. And my previous book from last year, Wrestling Rings, Blackboards, and Movie Sets. There's 100 stories about very short stories, vignettes about juggling 3 careers as a teacher, filmmaker, and agent in professional wrestling with these big bruising guys that used to headline Madison Square Garden. And you get to know them as human beings. And our podcast is Wrestling and Everything Coast to Coast. Recently we had on, she's inspiring, Mamie Van Duren, 95-year-old movie actress, and she still looks beautiful. Beautiful. 95 years old.
Wow.
So she was recently on the show. So it's wrestling and everything. It's arts and that's pretty much it. I'm pretty easy to find on social media, and we appreciate you having all of us on, Renee. And it's
Oh my gosh. Yes.
we go back a long
We
time
do.
at this point. You don't realize how long ago some of those shows were.
It was 2015 that I did my first telethon, my first
Over a decade,
telethon in Madhouse TV. So it's 11 years, 11 years that we've been connected, all of us. So, and I keep asking Tommy, and Janine, what's her name? Tommy. Janine, yes.
Janine is like the nicest person on planet Earth.
Yes.
You couldn't even imagine getting into an argument with her.
Yes. And when somebody would get into an argument, she's like, okay, like she's so easygoing. She's wonderful. Yeah. I hope that they'll come. I hope they come to the concert. It'd be awesome to have them at the concert. Edwin, share with you have a long list of where you're performing, but give us a few dates
I just mentioned a few of the things. Well, first again, I want to congratulate Elaine Del Valle on her nomination for Best Feature Film and at the Imagine Impact Awards for Brownsville Bred. And I want to thank also Canvas Rebel magazine for giving me a beautiful interview as well, their magazine, which I will share with everyone as well.
Yeah, so I could share it as well. Go ahead.
And as far as performances coming up, I have a residency at the Flatiron Room every Monday, the Flatiron Room Nomad, from 6 to 10 every Monday. So if you're looking to dine and drink and relax, hear some background music, I'm there with either a violinist or guitarist, or sometimes percussion and flute, but mostly duos. And then Thursdays and Fridays, I have another residency at Andas, the bar downstairs and kitchen is what they call it. And it's another residency where I'm there solo with the guitar, and I love it. It's very intimate, gives me time to socialize and speak with everyone. It's really cool, and hang out after even. So I'd love for everyone to come. That's from 5 to 8 Thursdays and Fridays in the city, Midtown, at the Arthouse Hyatt Hotel. And then I'm going to be in Syracuse at the end of at the New York State Fair at the end of August, beginning of September, either the last week or the first week. I haven't gotten a date yet. But stay connected, and I'll send you all the other performances at restaurants, stuff like that. I definitely want to put something together more intimate, and I'm going to do that soon, either
Okay.
at the bitter end or the cutting room. Now, thank you, Renee, for giving us this opportunity to share again with Randy, Evan, yourself. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and I wish everyone well. I wish everyone success and beauty and everything that's beautiful as far as life itself. Thank you so much for having me again.
Oh my
No.
gosh. And I want to thank all of you for letting us go there, you know, like letting us put our guards down and really speaking, you know, intimately and honestly, and really to have this platform to not be so structured, you know, to be able to share how we're feeling and to express things and to share the beautiful experiences and, you know, the movies that you're doing and the amor and, you know, the books that Evan had written, the Edwin where you're performing. And, you know, I really needed this today, and God always brings you what you need. Because honestly, I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it because I never want to give up the hope. You know, I want to do my movie. I want to finish my book. I want to, you know, I'm sad to say I can't wait to 67 and a half to be able to retire and switch gears and do my performing first and my lifestyle second to still bring income. But really to be able to do what I love to do. And because it takes a lot of, everybody knows this, it takes a lot of dedication and focus on putting to write. I love to write. I mean, no, you guys probably don't know this about me. It's not something that I've shared. But I like to, like Edwin likes to get into that writing his music. I'm very good at expressing myself in tons of words and, like, you know, and just I'm good at that. So I really want to finish my book, but my book I've learned Randy, did you listen to the podcast Barbara Streisand, the one that she did? It's 48 hours long. Did you? 48 hours. Barbara Streisand's podcast is not podcast, her audio, her book audio, about her. It's 48 hours long. I listened to the entire thing. I love Barbara Streisand. She's one of my idols. I look at her when she sings. I kind of learn from her.
She's like butter. She's like butter.
Yeah. And what I loved about how she wrote was she remembers every single detail. She gets into so my point is that when I'm writing, I can't just write a little block. I have to express how I am feeling and what happens. And so I'm working on it. I'm promising everybody I'm working on it to get my book out and my movie. And thank you. And Evan, I promise I will get in touch with you when I'm ready to roll with that movie idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my brain and I have it structured on my computer and I have files and all that kind of stuff. I just need to, because the truth is that when this is why Wayne Dyer used to have to go off to Hawaii, like to be in the silence to really write, because you need to be able to flow. And every time I start to flow, something comes into my life.
Well, let me make a quick suggestion.
Okay.
So you treat writing like going to the gym. Just get up in the morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever the case may be, before people are hitting you with emails and text and phone calls, and you treat it like that's your job, your mission. And that's the way you get it done. You put in a couple of hours before the workday starts, before the real world hits you. And Renee, you have a lot of goodwill. I mean, if I were you, I'd write a screenplay and do a Kickstarter and do your own. Look, Brownsville Bred, the movie that Edwin did the music for, it's a beautiful film.
Yes.
And it was done on 500 grand. It's not a $200 million,
Yeah.
Marvel
Yeah.
superhero film. You could
Yeah.
do a low budget film that's quality and get seen.
And I know people are going to want to see it because they're just, I know it, like I could feel it. I know it. It's something that's, I've always had bullets in my brain of things like the Unconditional Love concert, right? I've been pulling at different areas of my life, singing in different venues, singing this to get to this Unconditional Love concert. And it's still evolving. I'm still working on the presentations that go up on the screen while I'm singing and talking and all that kind of stuff, but that'll be evolving forever. But that was one of my visions. Edwin will tell you, like a long time ago, we spoke about that, and he was incredibly helpful in me getting that and really helping me to believe in myself and believe that it could get done and believe, that it was done. So that's been established. And through that, then I'm going to start to work on my movie, because my movie is Extra Inning that happened in my stroke. It's my bio. It's really my upbringing, what I did before my stroke, what I did during my stroke, and really I'm in the extra inning of my life. What do you do when you get to that extra inning? You're gonna quit, or you're gonna keep going? You're gonna fight to keep it going. So I really know that it will be successful because it ties in music, it ties in sports, it ties in this. So yeah.
Angela's Ashes was written by a retired school teacher in his 60s, and it was a million-selling #1 blockbuster.
Crazy.
Create art. You never know how far you could take it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the name of it, Evan?
Angela's Ashes.
Angela's Ashes. Okay.
#1 New York Times bestseller. Guy wrote it, it was in his late 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to remind me to center myself about what I need to do. So it was a gift to have you all on the show. Keep me updated on what we're doing, where you're going. We'll all meet there. And honestly, it's a blessing. And sometimes we forget we're streaming live on the internet. We're so like into helping each other. So thank you so much. I'm gonna on 3 we always blow kisses, but I really want to thank everybody for allowing us the opportunity to come into your homes or your cars or your radios or whatever you are, and listen to this show. It's really important. It really you know what, we all want love in our lives. We all deserve love in our lives. We all are love. We all, even for people that do things that aren't correct, they're doing it because they want love in their life. They want attention. So let's all love each other. Let's be kind to one another. Let's be empathetic to one another. Think before you talk. That's really an important thing that I've learned, because words are very, very, very powerful. Once you say those words to somebody, that's what's going to be ringing in their head and their ears. They're not going to hear anything else, whatever you say, even if you apologize. So really think before you speak to somebody. So thank you so much for joining us today. What a remarkable show. This is going etched in my brain forever. So on 3 we always blow kisses if everybody feels comfortable. 1, 2, 3. Bye everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.
Yo no sé qué tú piensas, yo no sé lo que haré, yo no sé lo que estoy perdiendo, yo no sé lo que va a pasar. No me puedes escuchar llorar solo sin ti, no me puedes oír llorar. Todas las memorias fueron